Shalom, all praises to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, El Shai, Ba'ashem, Harakah, Kodash, double honors unto the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, all well. And Shalom to the whole full elect. This is Paya Allah. This is a read-through commentary of the book of Judges 19. And it reads, "And it came to pass in those days when there was no king in Israel, that there was a certain Levite sojourning on the side of Mount Ephraim, who took to him a concubine of Bethlehem, Judah. And his concubine played the whore against him, and went away from him unto her father's house to Bethlehem, Judah, and was there 4 whole months. And her husband arose and went after her to speak friendly unto her, and to bring her again, having his servant with him and a couple of asses. And she brought him into her father's house. And when the father of the damsel saw him, he rejoiced to meet him." So basically, this Levite had a domestic with his concubine, which rightly so, because she played the harlot, basically played the whore against him. But after a process of time, he went to retrieve his concubine to get things going once again. All right, verse 4. "And his father-in-law, the damsel's father, retained him, and he abode with him 3 days, and they did eat and drink and lodge there. And it came to pass on the 4th day, when they arose early in the morning, that he rose up to depart. And the damsel's father said unto his son-in-law, Comfort thine heart with a morsel of bread, and afterward go your way." All right, so something interesting, something I took from this one reading through it. It said, "Comfort thine heart with a morsel of bread." So it shows you, you have a thing known today as comfort eating, where people, maybe depressed or fall upon hard times, or not be feeling not so much under the weather, but not be in a, mentally, good space, so to speak. They resort to what? Comfort eating. All right, so they eat in excess to what? To comfort them. All right, so this this scripture right here shows comfort thine heart with a morsel of bread. And the reason why I highlighted that is because it brings into mind the Day of Atonement. The Day of Atonement is about what? Afflicting thine soul, afflicting your soul. So it shows you that food is a comfort unto your heart, to your mind, to your being, but the lack thereof, right, is an affliction to your soul, right, to your spirit and body. So that was just interesting as a point. "And afterward go your way." Verse 6. "And they sat down and did eat, drink, both of them together. For the damsel's father had said unto the man, Be content, I pray thee, and tarry all night, and let thine heart be merry." All right. "And when the man rose up to depart, his father-in-law urged him, therefore he lodged there again. And he arose early in the morning on the 5th day to depart. And the damsel's father said, Comfort thine heart, I pray thee. And they tarried until the afternoon, and they did eat, both of them." Verse 9. "And when the man rose up to depart, he and his concubine and his servant, his father-in-law, the damsel's father, said unto him, Behold, now the day draweth toward even. I pray you tarry all night." Reading this, I'm just like, eager me, I'd be like, man, I want to get out of here, man. You hold your breath from under me, holding me prisoner, man. Let me go about my business, man. Let me do what I need to do. Obviously, because he come there with a goal in mind, and he understood, the what's the word? Like the due benevolence he has to give his father-in-law. But it's like, after 3 days, he's ready to cut. But my man wanted to keep him there. All right, and so much so to the point where he, you could tell he's frustrated because he was prepared to leave upon the onset of the evening. All right, when it's not really favorable time to make a move. All right, because remember he rolled up to the park in the morning. All right, sorry, let me not say it. I read it wrong. Let me read on. So it says, "Lodge here, and thine heart be merry, and tomorrow get you early on your way, that you mayest go home." All right, which technically really would be the more ideal thing to do. But I imagine he's frustrated. He'd been there long enough and just wanted to get up out of there. All right, verse 10. But the man would not tarry that night, but he rose up and departed and came over against Jebus, which is Jerusalem, Yerushalayim, and there were with him 2 asses saddled, his concubine also with him. Verse 11. And when they were by Jebus, the day was far spent, and the servant said unto his master, Come, I pray thee, and let us turn into this city of the Jebusites, and lodge in it. And his master said unto him, We will not turn against hither into the city of a stranger that is not of the children of Israel. Let me read that again, sir. My mind strayed. And when they were by Jebus, the day was far spent, and the servant said unto his master, Come, I pray thee, and let us turn into this city of the Jebusites, and lodge in it. And his master said unto him, We will not turn aside hither into the city of a stranger that is not of the children of Israel. We will pass over to Gibeah. Oh, how crazy this, in hindsight, how crazy it is for him to say something like this, because he may have actually been, kind of the 2 C's, damned if you do, damned if you don't. All right. But let's read on, verse 13. And he said unto his servant, Come and let us draw near to one of these places to lodge all night in Gibeah or in Ramah. And they passed on and went their way, and the sun went down upon them when they were by Gibeah, which belongeth to Benjamin. And they turned aside thither to go in and to lodge in Gibeah. And when he went in, he sat him down in a street of the city, for there was no man that took them into his house to lodging. And behold, there came an old man from his work out of the field at even, which was also of Mount Ephraim, and he sojourned in Gibeah, but the men of the place were Benjamites. And when he had lifted up his eyes, he saw a wayfaring man in the street of the city. And the old man said, Whither goest thou? And whence comest thou? And he said unto him, We are passing from Bethlehem, Judah, toward the side of Mount Ephraim, from thence am I. And I went to Bethlehem, Judah, but I am now going to the house of the Lord Yahweh. And there is no man that receiveth me to house. Yet there is both straw and provender for our asses, and there is bread and wine also for me, and for thy handmaid, and for the young man which is with thy servants. There is no want of anything. And the old man said, Peace be with thee. Howsoever, let all thy wants lie upon me. Only lodge not in the street. So he brought him into his house and gave him provender unto his asses, and they washed their feet and did eat and drink. Now as they were making their hearts merry, behold, the men of the city, certain sons of Belial, beset the house round about, and beat at the door, and spake to the master of the house, the old man, saying, Bring forth the man that came into thine house, that we may know him. Look at something like this. It makes sense why no one took them into the house, because, as it said in the beginning of this chapter, that there was no king in the land and everyone did as they saw fit. So within this town or this city of Gibeah, these vain men of Benjamin, these sons of Belial, right? They basically must have had some kind of, rule over this, some kind of grip over the city, right? As so much so that where no one would take a lodger in, even though it's part of the law, because they know that these men would beset upon their household, all right? And even more so, they wanted this sojourner that passed through the land, they wanted to rape him, all right? So it's showing you feet. And I believe, I'm extrapolating, him being an old man, he's beyond those years where he's just within his own world, or he has faith, or faith that the other people of the city don't have. being from a former generation, something to that effect. All right, verse 23. And a man, the master of the house, went out unto them and said unto them, Nay, my brethren, nay, I pray you, do not so wickedly, seeing that this man is come into mine house, do not this folly. Behold, here is my daughter, a maiden, and his concubine. Them I will bring out, and humble ye them, and do with them what seemeth good unto you. But unto this man do not so of vile thing. All right. But the men would not hearken to him. So the man took his concubine and brought her forth unto them. And they knew her, Salakia knew her and abused her all the night until the morning. And when the day began to spring, they let her go. Then came the women in the dawning of the day and fell down at the door of the man's house where her lord was, till it was light. And her lord rose up in the morning and opened the doors of the house and went out to go his way. And behold, the woman, his concubine, was fallen down at that door of the house, and her hands were upon the threshold. And he said unto her, Up and let us be going. But none answered. Then the man took her up upon an ass, and the man rose up and gat him unto his place. And when he was come into the house, he took a knife and laid hold on his concubine, and divided her together with her bones into 12 pieces, and sent her into the coasts of Israel, all the coasts of Israel. And it was so that all that saw it, there was no such deed done nor seen from that day that the children of Israel came up out of the land of Egypt unto this day. Consider of it, take advice, and speak your minds. So with that, I pray you're edified to the next one. Say shalom, shalom.